first time ever, a U.S. president and Japanese prime minister visited the USS Arizona Memorial together. And it happened today, just a few weeks after the 75th anniversary of the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. And while both President Obama and Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe hold powerful positions, it was the survivors and veterans who were treated as VIPs today. Bridget Namata was there and joins us now with more.
Marissa, while there was no formal apology on the Japanese Prime Minister's part for the surprise attack on Pearl Harbor, his speech had a tone of reconciliation, which President Obama reciprocated. 75 years after the surprise attack, Shinzo Abe became the first Japanese prime minister to visit the USS Arizona Memorial. With the president by his side, the men placed wreaths in front of the names of those whose lives were lost. They then took a boat to shore, where an audience of dignitaries, military service members, and World War II survivors waited. Abe spoke first, vowing never to repeat the horror of wars again.
This is the solemn vow we, the people of Japan, have taken.
To which Obama responded.
Prime Minister Abe, I welcome you here in the spirit of friendship, as the people of Japan have always welcomed me. I hope that together we send a message to the world that there is more to be won in peace than in war.
Prime Minister Abe and President Obama's speeches were gentle, respectful, and to cap it off, a warm round of recognition to our veteran survivors who lived through the date, which will live in infamy. 96-year-old Alfred Rodriguez says he's at peace after hearing the two world leaders talk.
It was a reconciliation thing. It was very nice. It was very appropriate.
Today is a good day. We get rid of all these things, maybe a lot of the hate we've had for 75 years.
Veteran Kenji Ego was part of the 442nd Regimental Combat Team that the president said was one of the most decorated military units in U.S. history.
I think this will be remembered for a long, long time, for generations to come.
The meeting at Pearl Harbor came 7 months after President Obama paid a visit to Hiroshima. We also learned Prime Minister Abe and President Obama got to talking at the APEC meeting in Peru last month, and both agreed it was a good idea to visit Pearl Harbor together. Bridget Namata, KHON 2 News.
Bridget, thank you. Many dignitaries attended today's historic event, including Senator Mazie Hirono and Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard.
They both talked about how important reconciliation is and the power of friendship, and I think it was really appropriate that our two leaders of these two great countries visited each other's very meaningful sites, President Obama in Hiroshima and Prime Minister Abe in Pearl Harbor.
It was really remarkable and historic to hear our President Obama and Prime Minister Abe here on Pearl Harbor really commemorating the service and sacrifice of our veterans here today, as well as those who paid the ultimate price and laid their lives down here in these waters 75 years ago.
And both women brought special guests with them. Hirono brought her 6th grade teacher, who's also a Congressional Medal of Honor recipient. And Gabbard brought 3-time Bronze Star recipient and World War II veteran Kenji Ego, who served with the 442nd Regimental Combat Team.